Love Island episode 14 has wrapped. Let's have a recap. So the Shakira and Tony and Emily drama is still kind of going on. Emily goes talks to her friend Shakira, and Tony talk, and then Shakira actually pulls Emily and talks about the situation because she kind of piped up a little bit to not defend Tony, but to say like I agree with what Tony's saying, and they have a conversation and talking about like and some of them like basically the same things Tony was bringing up with Emily before, and I feel like to some level Emily does kind of like she was focusing on certain bits that kind of like worked with what she was already thinking. They kind of separate. They don't really get to a resolution, or whatever, and then Emily goes right over to her kind of trio people, which is Helena, Megan, and Meg, and some of the boys are over there too. And right away, Shakira's like, Emily, don't go over here trying to like say like what we just talked about and yada yada. And Tony comes over to kind of like back Shakira up, and then like Yasmin and Harry are talking, and they come over. So there's kind of like this big discussion about it a little bit, like everyone's like, hey, you guys, everyone doesn't have to be best friends here or whatever it is. So it kind of doesn't really get resolved. They do speak the next day, and they kind of like hug it out and like squash it. I think in general, like they know they're not going to be best friends. They noted what everyone noted, and that's really the end of it. I still say though, I think it's interesting that Emily has a lot to say about some people's behavior or some people's actions when some of her best friends in there are Helena, Megan, and Meg, who have had multiple occurrences of like this bitchy behavior she's talking about, like towards like new bombshells coming in. Militia, I think of with Meg and Yasmin. All three of them have done multiple things, but whatever. Tony and Harrison kiss on the balcony. Their first like kiss outside of a challenge. That's nice. Helena's still talking to Harrison, and Helena like bad mouths Tony a little bit. Like she's done this before. I don't know if that's like her strategy, but I'm like, I don't get what the energy is from her on that. Just to get this guy, this 22-year-old guy, and you're 29 years old. It's like, anyway. Connor's still getting to know Megan. He pulled her the last episode, and she pulls him this time, and they're chatting and things like that. And Emily's getting a little bit annoyed at it. She's also feeling like Connor didn't like support her as much the next day after the whole Shakira and Tony argument. She says like people have been like there for me more today and things like that. And Connor's in general, I mean, he's just trying to be open and trying to like be honest with the situation. I think to some level. There's a spin the bottle challenge later in the day where they do some like games and dares and truths and things like that. Connor picks Megan for like put someone in your favorite position, and he does it with Megan, and Emily's a little bit annoyed at that, and Tommy kisses Shakira. Megan's a little bit annoyed at Tommy for that because like where did that come from maybe. Other little things that kind of like cause little bits of problems throughout the game. Nothing too much to note there, but essentially it ends with there's going to be a recoupling where the girls are actually choosing the boys this time. So it's kind of interesting. We're in an interesting place right now where the only people I know who are going to be certainly picked are Aleema's going to pick Ramel, Meg is going to pick Dejan. Everyone else is like up in the air at this point. But decent episode today. We'll see what happens on the recoupling on Monday.